I think it's here. Dude, what? The craziest thing happened. So I'm out for one of my pushes, and some dude just runs up on me and is like, hey, do you need a wheelchair? And I'm like, hey bro, I already got one. And he goes, well, wait a minute. I dated a quad for like 10 years. I know what a good wheelchair is. I was at the Goodwill the other day, and I found this thing for 25 bucks. So I give dude my address, and voila, this thing shows up on my porch in like 45 minutes. Oh, look at that. Just look at the little amount of miles this chair has. You can still see the crease from the center part where it hasn't been worn yet. I mean, you guys know I put miles and miles and miles on my chair. Like, there's no miles on this thing. These handles, those don't need to be here. Seatbelt, useless. Armrest. What is this, your legs or a couch? It's your legs. Do you want to never be able to pop up curbs? Bye. This is going, that's going, this going. This is a toolkit. I think they're like less than $100, and I think every wheeler needs to have something along these lines, because if you don't, then you're screwed, because inevitably what's going to happen is you're going to have a problem. I believe it's important that you guys know how to work on your wheelchairs. I'm screwing off this screw. It appears that it's a part of an entire assembly. Unnecessary. This screw is the one I did, and there's a nut on the back side of it, and that's actually, you know, for the entire, you know, lever system. I dislike these brakes so much, but the number one reason is they stick out like this, and when you push, if you push too hard, it blasts your thumb and just shreds all the skin off. You know, this assembly right here, this whole piece is for the seat belt, but once we undo this screw, and I think this one right here, this whole assembly will pop off, and that's not really needed if you don't have any desire to use the seat belt. Success. You're done. Peace. And it's always best when you're working on something to pay attention to the entire assembly, right? So you might look at this and go, oh, well, in order to take it apart, I gotta take this off, and then I gotta take this off. No, look what's actually attaching it to the chair. So from my point of view, right here, it looks like that's what's holding it onto the frame. So really all I gotta do is take off these two pieces right here, and I'm gonna be golden. Oh, there we go. Now you don't necessarily have to keep the hardware, obviously, because I don't think you're going to be using it, but you know, it's not a bad idea to keep it around, because if there's another screw or another washer or another bolt on the chair that you lose or goes missing, you have the ability to go and just dig through your pile of nuts and screws. Bass boat sparkles. Hey, who's trying to go fishing? We can go get my boat. It's got a nice little glitter. It's distracting the bass. You know, you gonna distract them. Goodbye. I'm really trying to examine these to see how it's all mounted on there, so when I take it off, I'm not actually messing with the axle or the center of gravity. So these are kind of the back end of it. This side is this side of it, and in between I'm going to be removing this whole assembly right here, and then I'm going to be moving this whole assembly. So when I pop off this assembly, I got to make sure I leave this cap here so that can screw onto here. And when I pop off this assembly, I have to make sure that this is still attached to this, because this is very important. This is the adjustable center of gravity. It looks like maybe you can even also lower it up and down for dumps. All right, the whole assembly is starting to get loose. I'm gonna make sure I take it off piece by piece. Okay, so here was the kind of arm that was guiding the armrest in place. I'm gonna take these, remember that, because when I pull this off, I'm gonna take it and just put it immediately back in there, immediately right back in there. That goes immediately like that. That goes immediately like that. All right, I already see a problem. I'm realizing that even when this is all the way tight, there's going to be a lot of this non-thread showing, which means that even if the bolt is all the way down, it'll be doing that. So I'm digging around in my pile to see if there's a shorter bolt, and I'll be able to do the trick. And I think I found it over here. I'm thinking I'm gonna pull the bolt out of here. It looks like it's wide enough. Let's go, baby, let's go. Right off the rip. I'm using a combination of screws from other parts and washers and whatnot from other parts, and it's working out well. This box weighs probably 10 pounds. That's insane. That's insane. Why would the wheelchair companies put on so much extra weight? It's ridiculous. And so far it looks good. I'm gonna hop in it. I mean, come on. Come on. I went from straight out of the hospital to shit, I don't know, but whatever it is. But I just want to show you how there's simple things you can do to your chair, little improvements that allow you to be more independent, more agile, and free. And it's just a way to find more out of this life, to find more ability and freedom through your wheelchair. I'm really grateful that this came into my life. I am so grateful that you are in my life. I'm glad that you're here watching this right now. And if you enjoyed like hanging out with me, learning at the same time, we got some stuff over on, it's called the Paralysis Survival Guide. This is something that has never been done before, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. I really hope that you guys feel inspired to start tinkering around with your chair a little bit.